West LA, right? You have to know.
Okay, everyone, good afternoon. We're going to call this meeting of the Mount San Jacinto Community College District to order. It's about 3 o'clock and we will move. Although we've done the Pledge of Allegiance in a meeting immediately prior to this, maybe there's new people here, we'll go ahead and do it again. So if you can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. 1.3 roll call.
Trustee Ashley.
Present.
Trustee Carpenter.
Present.
Trustee Corona.
Present.
Trustee Smith.
Present.
Trustee Silva.
Here.
Student Trustee Waluka.
Present.
Academic Senate Anjanette Oberg. Classified Senate Ed Saucedo.
Present.
Students Government Association Alina Baca.
Present.
Thank you. Item 1.4, approval of minutes, board work session of December 11th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
Chair Ashley, I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 1.5, approval of minutes, annual organizational meeting of December 11th, 2025. We recommend approval. Do we have a motion?
Chair Ashley, I move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Item 1.6, approval of minutes of the regular meeting of December 11th, 2025. The district recommends approval. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
All right, we have item 1.7, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. We do have a couple of revisions, so everyone listen up. Item 12.1, which is the district audit, and 12.2, the foundation audit, will presented immediately following item 4.1. Item 11.1, administrative appointments, has been revised to correct the salary placement and compensation for listed administrators. Item 11.7, approval of supervisory confidential salary and health and welfare contribution increase, is revised to include clarification language. And item 11.8, approval of salary and health and welfare contribution increase, is revised to include clarification of language and the superintendent president. Okay, with those items made, those revisions made, do we have a motion to approve?
Chair, I'll motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We're now on to item 2, comments of individual groups, delegations limited to closed session items. Do we have any? We do not have any closed session comments. So with that, we will move on to item 3, closed session. We will be discussing in closed session pursuant to all applicable education codes, government codes, and recently enacted statutes. The Board of Trustees will meet in closed sessions to discuss or act on the following matters. 3.2, conference with real property negotiator. 3.3, conference with legal counsel on potential litigation, 2 cases. 3.4, conference with labor negotiator, California School Employees Association. Item 3.5, conference with labor negotiator, California Teachers Association. And after that, we will reconvene to report out if we have a report. So with that, we will move to closed session. So we'll see you as soon as we're done. Thank you. Good afternoon. We're coming back to order from closed session. And from closed session, we have nothing to report out. So we can now move directly into item 4, comments of individual groups, delegations, limited to agenda items for public comment. And we have none. So we're now going to move on to item 5, reports. Board President and Trustees is 5.1. And as is the custom, we'll start with Trustee Smith and work our way down. Trustee Smith, go ahead.
I was going to be brief, but now I'm not. I'm so excited to see that the San Jacinto Cafe is done. That thing needed to be done so much. I thought this was just an AI picture, and she tells me it's not. Good job. That's exciting. The other question I have is, when I was reading through the agenda, I see that separations is 8.3. If we vote no, does Roger have to stay here with us?
The same thing.
Oh,
No comment?
was that a rhetorical question, sir?
That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. Trustee Corona, go ahead.
All right. As a trustee, it truly meant a lot to me to represent MSJC alongside my family at the Paris Christmas parade over the holidays. I also appreciated the opportunity to volunteer with my daughter with the Willow volunteers, giving back to the community and helping keep Willamore clean and welcoming. I'm also looking forward to attending the Paris Skill Center ribbon cutting tomorrow, and I'm especially excited for the February 5th ribbon cutting of our beautiful new skill center right here at the Menifee campus. The following day, I will attend the Paris Union High School District First State of the District Address. I'm also genuinely excited about this year ahead of grateful for the dedication of and grateful for the dedication of our faculty and staff. I wish our students a wonderful and successful year and look forward to continuing to serve our MSJC community. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Corona. Trustee Silva.
Thank you, Trustee Ashley. No report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Silva. Trustee Carpenter.
Thank you. I was going to also pull 8.3 and debate that with you, Roger, but I knew that would be to no avail. Otherwise, I have no report. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, Trustee Carpenter. I have a short report. First, welcome to 2026, everyone. It's an opportunity for us to continue the great work we're doing. If we had a shaky 2025, much like the nation at large, 2026 brings new hope. So let's rededicate ourselves to doing our very best personally and as a community. Also, I'm going to bring up an item for all of you to know about. It will be on the agenda for next month, similar to an information item. I've asked staff to kind of draft some constituency and leadership and board reports that applies to all of us, every one of us in the room that does reports, basically to kind of streamline and clean up the expectations for length of reports, for how we submit written materials. So if someone comes up and wants to submit something in writing, we're going to have more of a standardized procedure for that. Designated speakers when we ask for someone to speak on one other person's behalf, scope of remarks, and basically just how one identifies who they are and what their item is for the board report. So that's going to be, look for it. You'll see it on you might get something in advance, but all of you will get 72 hours before the meeting. You can take a close look at it and be ready to either have questions, comments, revisions, but we'll have something to vote on next month. Okay, that's the end of my report.
Trustee Ashley, can I add something?
Sure.
I just wanted to say that this is a great meeting because our family is full again. Wanted to welcome back Rebecca Teague. Thank you for being here today, and we're very excited to have you back.
I agree. Thank you. And with that, we will move to our student trustee. Go ahead.
Thank you. I also have a fairly short report. This month, I wanted to say welcome back. I hope you all have had a restful, wonderful holiday break. I did get a chance to visit the San Jacinto Campus Cafe, and the new decorations are amazing. I really like them. I've seen quite a few number of students using the new chairs and the new tables. And I think it's good. It's a really great step up for the San Jacinto campus altogether. And it does look a lot brighter in there now, much less dungeony than before. So whoever made those decisions, those were great. Thank you so much. And then I also wanted to kind of gas myself up a little bit. I don't know if any of you knew, but I was part of the CNA program last semester here at MSJC. We completed our semesters and I have now officially passed my state exams. So I am an employable CNA in the state of California. Thank you. Thank you. But I did want to just kind of take a moment to give a shout out to the wonderful CNA group and staff out there that are helping all of us students and are going above and beyond with helping us outside of the classroom, answering all of our questions. In particular, I wanted to give a shout out to the CNA director, Patricia McBee, as well as the skills instructor, Maria Garza, and my clinicals instructor, Tamara Hall. They were amazing. And so far from what I've known, from whom I kept up with, everyone who's taken the exams have passed. So obviously they're doing their jobs very well. And it's not an easy exam, just kind of let you guys know. And then finally, I also wanted to give a shout out to our classified staff who have been working very, very hard earlier than when we came in as students, and especially our SLDP advisors, SGA advisors, who have been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we have a smooth start to our semester and that students have an engaging and fun semester with the events that we have planned. And I know they're doing a lot more work than what we're seeing as students and maybe what the rest of us in this room are seeing as well. So I just wanted to give them a shout out real quick because we wouldn't be here. Alina and I wouldn't be here in our roles without them. So I really do appreciate them. I don't know if they're listening, but go Amber and Deja. And that concludes my report. Oh, and welcome back, Vice President Teague. It's really nice to see you back. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll let you know that I think I got everyone beat in this entire room. I ate at the San Jacinto cafeteria in August of 1982. Yes, I did. I've been there since 1982, before you were born, most of you.
And that's the furniture we just replaced.
Yes. Did you see a TA carved in any of the chairs? By the way, we are going to move on now to the Academic Senate, Classified Senate, Superintendent. I just want to apologize. We were moving up our district audit, but we will do the district audit immediately following reports before consent agenda. So if you're out there from our audit company, my apologies, but we'll be with you soon. You were supposed to go right after 4.1. With that, we will now move on to the Student Government Association. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year, everybody.
Ms. Baca.
So earlier this month, our SGA held their semester retreat. We finalized all the events for the spring semester. We've also started the process of going through and revising and updating our constitution and bylaws in order for them to be ready for the upcoming election. This week, I tabled for Welcome Week, where I talked to students about upcoming events, including important information about parking permits and the issuing of IDs. I also had the opportunity to have a class in the new STEM building. Both students and faculty are very excited to be in there, and it's very, very nice. And then lastly, some of our SGA senators were able to attend the student panel for faculty. From what I gathered, it was very informative for both parties. So I'm really happy that some of us were able to join the faculty on that. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the Academic Senate, item 5.4. Dr. Oberg.
Aloha, everyone. Happy New Year. You'll be happy to know I have a short report, so don't fall off your chairs. We actually, as you know, Monday was our first day back, but we were able to hold our flex days on January 8th and 9th, so Thursday and Friday of last week. I want to thank Rodrigo Navarro Perez, our flex coordinator, who helped put that together. And I also want to thank Myra and Tara in the PD department, who were instrumental in supporting the logistics of that event. And thank you to all the presenters and the attendees. It's always valuable to learn with and from our colleagues. We had 2 sessions relevant to Senate. One included an AI faculty panel. At the end of last semester, we sent out an AI survey to all of our faculty, and we'll be sharing out that data in our town hall next week. Happy to make that available to all of you if you'd like it. Just let me know. And then Michael and I also held a leadership workshop based on the Gift of Leadership book that we offered you all last semester by Barry White. We had some great conversations about what leadership is and is not based on that book. And Senate will host a book club to finish out our analysis of that book. And we're going to host additional workshops in the coming semester on leadership and throughout spring. So we invite you to be part of that if you're interested. And our theme for this semester will be Spring into Solidarity. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Item 5.5, Classified Senate. Mr. Saucedo.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first thing I'll report back is in December, the Rising Scholars Program held its first meeting as part of the Student Equity Plan, the Vision 2030. And we're looking at now starting that program and working with outside partners, probation and everything for those justice impacted students. So we've started that process. We're looking at a retreat sometime in April. So obviously we'll report back between now and then as to the status and where it's going from there. Secondly, in January, the LRC coordinator Dominique Duarte invited the safety staff, Sheriff's Department, and Student Affairs to speak to the student tutors that they have and how to deal with students that are need more help. I don't want to say uncooperative or difficult, but in de-escalation and other techniques and things that they can do to diffuse situations and hopefully not have to call on safety or the Sheriff's Department. That was a really good meeting. They had a lot of questions and we did give them some tips on how to deal with those students that have some issues. And other than that, that's really much all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yep. De-escalation is a big thing. We'll move on to 5.6, Superintendent, President, and Executive Cabinet.
So with that, I will turn to the cabinet to see if they have reports.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the feedback on the San Jacinto Cafe. The governor did release his proposed budget for the next fiscal year. The highlights being a proposed 2.41% cost of living adjustment and 1.5% in growth funding phased in over 2 fiscal years, the current fiscal year and the next. And at the next board meeting, I'll provide you with an in-depth presentation of that proposed budget, which really just starts to kick off the kinetic exercises with budget development for the next fiscal year. Happy New Year to everybody.
There it is. Sorry. All right. So like Anjanette mentioned, we started school. It's been going great. We had the frontline staff did an amazing job this year. We implemented a lot of different changes to make the enrollment process a little bit smoother for students. We had some holes that we're filling now with getting some more bodies in there, which is great. Continuing to review the process to see how we can make it more efficient for students going into the fall term, which is our huge enrollment cycle. So see if we can make it smoother for students and for staff to get right through. So making a lot of improvements there. I did have the opportunity to actually join the Flex, which we had a session on just the enrollment data, which, as we all know, Anna did a good job of making sure I didn't go on and on, but that's my thing. So it's fun to sit down with faculty and be in the classroom and see the excitement of just the semester starting in, which is great. As far as enrollments go, we're still sitting at about 91% filled, which is great. Everything's looking really smooth. Our FTS are up about 100 compared to last spring. So I would call that flat, like just the same, which is what we were targeting anyway this year. So it looks good. There's still a lot of work that the faculty are doing. They've been doing a tremendous job so far this first week. So just before classes start, we turn off all the auto enrollments and registrations. So any enrollments that we see taking place right now, it's the faculty in their classes, adding those students that are trying to crash, pulling students off their wait list. And we've seen thousands of seats being taken up and enrolled this week. So they've been doing a great job of getting students access to that. And you'll of course get my full report in March after census hits. So that concludes my report.
I have a question, Vice President Moore.
We don't take questions. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just ask it anyway. Something I wasn't expecting. I was just watching the news and saw the Secretary of Education, U.S. Secretary of Education, weaponize the bots in California as a way of saying, that there's a lot of phony, they're pointing out the truth that we have a problem with fake students trying to collect, federal
funds, federal dollars,
dollars. We get it. But I was surprised to see it was almost weaponized like it was like fraudulent, like the state didn't care. They liked it. It was making us look like we needed more money and we don't care if our money's closely guarded. It's federal money. Who cares? Have you seen any of that sort of has it reached the level where it comes across your desk, or did I just hear a report and it hasn't trickled down to you guys actually having to push back on that sort of a narrative?
Trick question. Everybody's doing their own thing. So the state has a spam filter they put in on their applications. So they try to filter out what they determine are fraudulent applications. The schools then have the opportunity to download those applications if they deem that they might be valid students and not bots. The level of fight that's going on with that, as we heard at the CCLC conference, it depends on the institution. So we don't really know the standards the chancellor's office is using for that, and there's no set standard for any institution. So I can just speak to the efforts that we're putting forward in all of that. We continue to fight it all the time. We have weekly meetings still on this. We dedicate a lot of resources to making sure that our classes aren't getting bogged down by bots. We actually made some adjustments going into this term, also based on some feedback from students, to make sure that any account that we've decided is highly likely that it's fraudulent and we want them to verify their identity, we don't let them sit on wait lists anymore. So we pull them off of that so they're not bogging down the system longer. As far as how much everybody else is fighting, I guess it depends on the situation. I know that our philosophy here has been, we want to get real students in classes, because every time there's a bot sitting in a class, it's robbing the opportunity for somebody else. We're also not really interested in the money aspect, meaning we don't want to fill our classes with bots just to show enrollments. We have strong enrollments. I don't know how everybody else is dealing with that. I don't know how strong everybody else's enrollments are. I don't know how enticing it is from a political standpoint or from a monetary standpoint to fight fraud at every institution. So I can just speak to what we do.
So you could imagine then how this could be weaponized against the state of California, because it's like, look at them. They're not minding their financial house.
And because and because I can't speak clearly to how hard everybody's fighting it, I will take a stand on what we do, and we are vigilant with it. We are diligent with it. We are constantly making adjustments. But if you're asking me to stand up for the entire state or any other organization, absolutely not.
Right. Well, I just hope we're not.
I hope we're fighting it as
collective punishment.
I hope we're fighting it as hard as we are everybody else. The last reports from the chancellor's office was that about 20% to 30% of the applicants are probably fraudulent. This last calendar year, we filtered out almost 13,000 accounts. And of those,
who's we? The state?
No, we meaning Brian Orlowski,
MSJC.
the enrollment services team, the financial aid team. I mean, locally, our applications that made it through the chancellor's office system.
Such a high number.
Yeah, that's about a full semester of students. And of those that we pulled, we locked those accounts. We said, hey, look, you need to come in and verify your identity. We had 300 exactly come in and clear. So 2.4% of those that we blocked, not counting the however many the chancellor's office blocked, we're still shutting down. So we are fighting it a lot, and we put a lot of resources to it because it's really important to make sure that our classes are filled with students in our area who are trying to get further education. So I can only speak to what we're doing. I don't really know exactly how far hard everybody else is fighting.
I get it. I hear what you're saying. Thank you.
No problem.
So good evening. Thank you so much for the
What
warm.
do you think about fraud? No, I'm just kidding.
Been back 4 days. Back 4 days. It's fantastic to be back. I'm so glad to be with the team, and I am relearning some things because as I was gone 4 months, a lot has changed, but it's still the good old MSJC that I know and love. So I'm really happy to be back. I'm glad to be healthy and here. And thank you all for your care, your support, your prayers and thoughts. They were very much appreciated while I was out. So thank you.
So I do have a number of things to share. I was able to take a couple of walks on the MVC campus this week, mainly to see the new STEM building and to see that in action. And I couldn't stop smiling to see students doing their thing. Nobody was doing somersaults in the classroom, but they're doing their thing. Faculty were excited to be back. It was just such a great feeling in there. So enjoyed that. I always enjoy that feeling of returning back. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge really the tremendous amount of work that a lot of people took to bring the building to life. Our faculty, our instructional lab techs, maintenance and operations, our administrative staff, business services partners continue to work together to fine tune the spaces to meet the needs of students. So very proud of all folks involved. I also can't believe I'm doing this, but I will name Dean Donhauser and thank him for his leadership as he did tremendous work to pull folks together. So wonderful work there. We're also continuing to fine-tune things. So we want to maximize these new spaces. We're working to move a few classes from kind of the less desirable buildings, some of the older spaces on campus into the new rooms to improve that student experience. So continue to keep tweaking. Instruction offices are continuing to help students navigate into the open seats that they can find. So I deeply appreciate that. In my view on enrollment, and Brandon shared a bit, one area where we haven't seen as much success, we have added some in-person seats this semester and haven't seen students fill those up to the same level. So we added about 700 seats over last year for the spring, and we're down about 600 enrollments in that area. But overall, we're good. So it's nothing to really be concerned about, and we'll continue to do what we can to attract students to campus to make sure they have excellent experiences throughout that. Speaking specifically career ed, we're actually seeing higher enrollment in areas like business, accounting, management, allied health, nursing, medical assisting. Our new welding program that we managed to get the contract completely finished with for Hemet is basically full. So we're offering 2 sections of welding. We have almost 30 students enrolled in that course. Exciting to see that happen. Also wanted to share last meeting, you requested a report about the automotive department. I just wanted to share that we're gathering information on that and anticipate having the report to you before the next board meeting. So we'll be working on that to get information together.
Okay.
Also wanted to share just a quick detail about our commercial driver's license program. It actually, as I learn more details, it's more valuable to students than I even realized. So it goes beyond the kind of book training and actually incorporates the behind the wheel training as well. That program is saving students anywhere from $1,500 to $7,000 for those students that take it. So a real great opportunity to be able to provide students. And so with that, I believe, that completes my report.
Thank you. Good afternoon, MSJC community. I just wanted to acknowledge and thank a couple of different groups of folks here. First off, starting with CTA, the negotiation team, I really want to thank their efforts. Later on today, the board will consider for approval the tentative agreements, and with that approval, will conclude a successful round of negotiations. So thank you so much for your willingness to come to the table, have open dialogue, as well as the district negotiation team. I also want to take this time to acknowledge CSEA's negotiation team. We're making great progress and they're working diligently to get those tentative agreements done with the district, and hopefully those will be coming forward to the board for approval in the near future. I also want, with all of these changes, it would be not appropriate for me to not recognize payroll and HR with all of these changes and implementation and salary schedules, and hopefully with the approval today. It's a lot of work to get all that process. So thank you so much to those two groups. Because of them, we'll hopefully, with the approval, we'll see those be implemented before the January paychecks. So it's been a lot of work, but we've been proactive and working alongside with them and partnering. So I thank those two groups very much. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Diana. It's been referenced a couple of times that we have the STEM building opening. And if you know the Charlie Brown cartoon where he tries to kick the football and Lucy pulls it away from him multiple times, we've scheduled the grand opening multiple times only to be told you're going to have to reschedule it. I am happy to report, I know we've said this before, but and I think Trustee Corona gave it as part of his report, on February 5th, 11 a.m., it is really happening. The STEM building grand opening ribbon cutting. I know that because Jackie has gone over the logistics with me on that. Also, maybe not as flashy or as important as the STEM building, but equally visible in the community. Next Friday, the 23rd at 3 p.m. at the 3000 building. If you have not seen the new Studio 215 with its media wall and all the neat things they have in there, we'll be doing our official ribbon cutting / even though they've been around for a little bit, really going public with that. We had the holidays behind us, but one thing that while we were all celebrating with family, our Temecula campus hosted the Temecula Rotary Christmas dinner. And again, I got communications and a few pictures that I hope to share with you later. I'll do that via email, but they were so appreciative. They provided 1,300 meals on Christmas Day to their through their volunteers. And although it was 1,000 people here, they also packaged up 300 meals for seniors that were shut in and could not get out. So again, the visibility and the giving of this campus community, because there's facilities, there's people in the kitchen and Chris Hurtado and everybody has really come together. And again, a great appreciation. That is a tremendous statement for the community from the college and the Rotary together. And I think that may be one reason why we have actually been nominated by the Temecula Valley Chamber as Platinum Business of the Year. So if you're interested, we'll be getting a table or two if there's enough on March 28th at the Temecula Chamber Awards for that. And lastly, Alina mentioned, she worked a table. I've worked a table on every campus this week. And I look at the data and I see all the things and we get the reports, but nothing's, being in communications and social sciences major, nothing is more valuable to me than the real experiences when students come up and they all of a sudden start talking to me and they're like, do you know who I am? And they're like, yeah, you're the president. And then on 4 different occasions, I was actually really emotionally touched by how profound the students were thanking us for the quality faculty, for the counseling, for the student services, for all the things. And these people had been here for a few semesters. And a lot of times we only hear the negatives. We don't see everything until you get to graduation. But this was the first time ever I had that many students come up with a genuine appreciation for the collective work of everybody. So again, we're thanking everybody for various aspects, but it truly is a great team, whether you're in business services behind the scene, all the way through the frontline student services people manning the tables to our faculty in the classroom. Tremendous appreciation. And again, unsolicited for students. It was like, wow, that's not random. And that has never happened to me before. So I wanted to end on a positive note. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Schultz. Now we're going to get back to what we were supposed to do after right after 4.1, which is we are now going to invite the district auditor to come up now and give the report. I apologize again, keeping you here for that extra 45 minutes. Come on up, please. We have hour. I'm looking for it right now because I had to leave my page for a moment. So give me just a sec as you get ready to speak.
This won't lead to a finding next year, will it?
No, I won't be that crucial. No, thank you for being so accommodating. I was in a board meeting this week that I got to go 3.5 hours into the board meeting, so.
Yeah,
45 minutes
so-
listening to the conversation was great.
Yeah, great. And you're from CWDL.
Yes.
And why don't you just introduce
Yeah.
yourself? But for everyone, this is our district audit. It's not our Measure AA audit and it's not our foundation audit. It's our standard district audit.
It will be the foundation audit.
Oh, next. Yeah, that's coming.
So.
Thank you.
My name's Kyle Holtz. I'm one of the senior audit managers at CWDL. Funny story, when I started here as a senior associate, you guys were my first audit that I went to on site at the other campus. So we were auditors about 4 or 5 years ago. So we're back. That's good news. But first off, thanks Stacy and her team. It's a full college effort to get these audits done. We're going state compliance. We're going to the DSPS department, we're running over to payroll. So a lot's kind of covered in this entire audit. My agenda looks long, but I promise I'll keep it short and sweet for you guys. So we'll move through this. Like I said, there's 4 deliverables. You're going to have your gas audit, which is kind of your financial, your CDAM, which is your state compliance, and then your OMB audit, which is your single audit federal. Now, what seems a little different this year is that your auditors are here in January. That's because of the OMB compliance supplemental information wasn't released and finalized in time to give everyone their audits, December 15th. So the audit timeline did get moved to Valentine's Day, February 15th time for deliverables and to be on time. So you guys there's no issues. You don't need to worry about an extension, anything like that. But that's why you're seeing us now. Next year, we'll be back on that typical time frame. Nothing to do on the college's timing. And then, of course, we have the foundation audit that I'll touch briefly at the end. I spearhead the not-for-profit charter and foundation chapter of the firm, and then help with the CCDs. So the first aspect you're going to see, kind of the components of that district audit report. You got our independent auditors report, which is kind of the all-encompassing unmodified opinion that you guys awarded. So congratulations on that. Then that's, this is management's responsibility. All the financials are kind of provided to us, and what we do is test it based on materiality for that end of the year, which rolls in right into the MD&A. This is the district's take on these financial statements. Now, just a heads up for next year, the MD&A is going to be changing. GASB 103 does come into effect. So it's going to be a lot more detailed to users of those financial reports. If there's a big change, we'd say compensated absences this year increased due to GASB 101. They'd want a little write-up about that, explaining that to the community in that section. So the GASB guidance wants users to be able to fully understand why there's drastic changes in the financial statements. And we'll be working with the district, giving you guys a blueprint for that, so that you can just kind of drop in what actually facilitates directly MSJC. So we'll help you along in that change to GASB. Then that rolls right into your basic financial statements, your statement of net position, statement of revenues, and then your statement of cash flows, of course. This is, very high level. It shows the total figures for those areas like capital assets, accumulated depreciation, long-term debts, sections like that, which then you're going to go into your remaining financials, which is your notes to financial statements. Anything that's material shown in those core financial statements, that's what you're going to be seeing there. And then rolls into your required supplementary information, your opinion pages, and then of course, your summary of the audit report, which is what we have here. There is no audit findings this year. We did look at doing extensive testing on the return to Title IV because that was kind of a high risk area from the finding last year. It was we don't have the testing work papers, of course, from last year, but it was a 1 of 60 instance of the error occurring, which is from the testing I've done through the colleges in the state. Very rare. Is probably just a small human error on that return to Title IV. Typically when I have return Title IV testing issues, it's widespread. it means it wasn't being calc'd fully or accurately for some reason within the system. So you guys to have one was a surprise just to see one. So we were able to test through that. We didn't have any inconsistencies, variances, or issues when we were doing that testing. And that being said, of course, it's our unmodified opinion is based on no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses noted. Of course, we provide Stacy and the team kind of recommendations or, hey, we're testing this warrant, we saw this, do you have additional support, or here would be a recommendation for improvement. So those are always getting passed between management and the auditors throughout the process. Some kind of key highlights is your district net position increased 25.3 million this year. Kind of following suit from that, trying to keep the mic because I got told how to use it. A few of that is what impacted that. The right of use asset increased. You guys probably remember that from the last few auditors, GASB 87, GASB 96 coming into play. So that's where that's increasing from. Your general obligation bond debt decreased by 4.9 million. Compensated absences did increase by 5.3 million due to GASB 101. There's a special slide for that, and I'll speak to that directly. That is why you have a beginning balance adjustment this year. It's not due to mismanagement of the financials or anything like that. It's due to this new GASB 101 implementation. And then your OPEB liability decreased from 7.1 last year to 5.2 million this year. Speaking to that GASB 101. So on your guys' long-term debt, there is a line that says compensated absences. Historically, that's always been your accrued vacation time for all the faculty and staff at the college. With GASB 101, what that is bringing in now is your accrued sick leave time. So that's been assessed, and bringing on that was about $5 million and about the 500,000 change in current year. So thankfully it's only sick leave, because this guidance did start to look at bereavement or bereavement pay or lost train of thought. Other types of leave. So just other access to leave you could see going through there. Now, the interesting part about this sick leave is it's not technically ever truly paid out when a faculty leaves. There's a few small instances that are occurring. Typically what a faculty would do is use that to accrue towards their tenure when they're departing from the college. So don't look at this as like, oh, this is going to get paid out kind of like a debt issuance or a lease completing contract. But with GASB 101 in place, that's what's being shown there. I talked about GASB 103 coming in next year. GASB 104, we kind of did a small, soft, early implementation for that. On your guys' capital asset footnote, you'll see GASB 87 and 96 being included in that in the bottom half section of that table and chart. And that's what GASB 104 is looking to do. So you guys are already in compliance on that aspect. So that's good to be ahead now, so we don't have to worry about making that or missing that in the future. Of course, then we have the foundation, which is under FASB. So you have an unqualified opinion versus that unmodified opinion. Some of the key highlights is you had about $1.1 million contributions last year, and your endowments increased about 500,000 from pretty much contributions and investment income. The one major point with the foundations I like to speak to right now is their in-kind donations and the in-kind donations and the risk of those endowments being paid out for underwater. So if as scholarships are being awarded out, to make sure that foundation board's reviewing those scholarships to make sure none are not going underwater on endowments. With the volatility of the market, that could be a risk area. So just assessing those scholarships before that occurs. And that kind of concludes. Is there any specific questions or areas that the board would like me to look at or discuss on the audit?
It was more like keep an eye on money we're putting out on the foundation compared to what we're bringing in, but we're fine in terms of our balances and whatnot. So
Yeah.
there's no finding, right? It's just pointing that out.
Yeah, something to be cognizant of, because mismanagement of funds for underwater is a kind of a red flag for us, and makes it hard for donors to come in once they see that finding occur. Now, underwater due to a new endowment, it's fine. Give $10,000 to start a new endowment. Market drops, so it drops to 9,000. That's easy to speak to. It's not a mismanagement. So just keeping up on that is all we look for there.
Yep. I have no other questions.
No, usually I look at Michael Beckham, our business services director, and he seemed pleased. He seemed relaxed, calm. So I figured we're doing a good job. He's looking at you and he's like giving a thumbs up, basically.
He knows he.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right. So folks, right now we're on 12.1. We've received the report. At this point, I will accept a motion to approve the district audit first. We're going to do 12.1 and then we'll vote on 12.2 right after, since we've received both reports. So we're on 12.1 and I'll accept a motion to accept the audit
I'll make a
as
motion.
presented. We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
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 And Ms. Carpenter has left, so make sure you note that. And now we've already received the report on 12.2 on the foundation audit. It's recommended that the board accept the audit on the foundation as presented. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve to accept the audit.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay. We will now meander way back to the consent agenda, which is item 7. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Chair Ashley, I move to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Any discussion on the consent agenda? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I will slow down at the drop of hat. I'm in no rush at all, but we have quite a number of items to approve or not approve on the open agenda. So I'm going to go a little quick, but I'm more than happy to slow down and have a discussion. Didn't we vote?
You went to the audit.
No, I think, did we vote for the consent? Yeah, we voted. Yeah, we voted. We're moving now to,
Oh, just then.
yeah,
I was
yes.
He's retiring.
It's okay.
just trying.
Yeah, we are now on item 11.1 on the open agenda. Administrative appointments revised. It's recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the administrative appointments. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion.
I'll second. Good.
And a second. Is there any discussion? Student trustee vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
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 11.2, renewal of administrative appointment. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the revised contract renewals. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Student trustee?
Aye.
Trustees, vote.
Aye.
Aye. Item 11.3, classified employee appointments. There's 7 new classified employee appointments. It's recommended that we approve these appointments. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve those classified appointments.
Chair, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. 11.4 supervisory confidential appointment. We have one. It is recommended that we approve this appointment. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 11.5 temporary academic appointments. There are two faculty appointments. It's recommended that the Board of Trustees approve these appointments. Do we have a motion?
Chair, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. Student trustee, vote please.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
Aye. 11.6 approval of the tentative agreement between MSJC Community College District and the MSJC Faculty Association. Do we have a motion to approve the TA?
Chair Ashley, I move to approve the TA.
Chair, I'll second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none. Please, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, faculty and district. 11.7. And salary schedule increase, 10% off and 10% off schedule and health and welfare contribution increase. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. 11.8, approval of administrator salary and health and welfare contribution increase, revised. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the administrator salary schedule increase, a 10% off schedule payment, and a health and welfare contribution increase. Do we have a motion to approve?
Chair, I'll move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there discussion on this? Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, admin. Item 12, open agenda business services. We have already done 12.1 and 12.2. So we will move on now, noticing this, to item 13.1 in the superintendent's open agenda. This is a participatory governance document revision. I'm going to read this. Participatory governance is the mechanism for employees and students to participate in the decision-making processes in support of the mission of the college. The institution recognizes and uses the contributions of leadership throughout the organization for promoting student success, sustaining academic quality, integrity, fiscal stability, and continuous improvement of the institution. The revised participatory governance document was presented for review at the December meeting and is now presented for action. There is a summary. It's recommended that the board approve the revised participatory governance document. Do I have a motion?
Chair, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Item 14, comments of individuals, groups, delegations limited to non-agenda items. We have none. And we will now move to item 16, adjournment. And I do, if you guys, I rarely ask for a little point of privilege before we do this vote to adjourn. But I'd like to remind everybody that although we all have Monday off because it's Martin Luther King Day, I'd like to remind everyone that today is Martin Luther King's actual birthday. And the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King did a lot. And I'd like to remind everybody, one of his most famous lines in probably his most famous speech, he talked about dreaming for the day that we all look not at the color of someone's skin, but at the content of their character. And, we always think that he was talking about like people shouldn't look at someone, that person of color, and judge them because of their color. But I would like to flip that around a little bit and remind all leaders that we are judged not by being in our position, but being by the content of our character. So, that goes towards everybody. So let's remember that we're all judged by the content of our character every day. And I like to take Martin Luther King's challenge personally, and I hope you all do as well, that we try to always improve ourselves. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Chair Ashley, I move to adjourn.
Chair, I'll second.
Since I made a point of privilege, there's a discussion before we adjourn. If anyone needs to add anything, I wouldn't want to rob you of that. No, seeing no discussion, then student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
I think your comments were sufficient. That's why.
Well, thanks.